Alright, hello YouTube. Today we're back in the shop and we're going to be making a smoker box. This smoker box is going to be able to go in several sheds that we're going to use to smoke large quantities of meat such as venison, sausage, ham, and other large portions. It's kind of like for a community smoker. It's a pretty simple design. We're going to be using A36 1/8 steel. The dimensions are 20 inches long, 12 inches wide by 10 inches high. Not all that big, but we're just looking to produce a lot of smoke. On the inside of the box, we're going to have a grate on which the smoke material, logs, and chips are going to sit on. We have our air inlet holes on each length side to fuel the fire, and then we have two large 2-inch holes which we're going to dimple die for a little bit of a bling, we'll say, to allow the smoke out. It's going to have a pretty basic lid design. We may or may not put a handle. Right now we're going to go with no handle and two basic hinges to facilitate opening and closing. And what we're going to be using is an old piece of material from a previous job we got, and we don't have a press brake, but we're not going to cut individual pieces, and we're going to show you a way to fold them or break them or get a nice crisp edge without using a shear or a brake. And what we'll do is we'll get ready to lay out our pattern and we'll join you over at the table.
Alright, so here is a drawing of how we're going to lay this out onto the 1/8 inch of plate. As you can see, if we were doing this on the plate, we would put it in the corner to utilize all the material that we can. This is where we're going to be scoring the material so that we can bend it without a press brake. Over here we have all the dimensions listed. To the side, this will be a totally separate piece. This is the lid, and in a moment we'll get right to it and we'll show you what we're doing. Alright, so now we have our layout planned here on the 1/8 inch sheet. I guess now would be a good time to let everyone know we are trying to grow the channel. We'd like to get up to 1,000 subscribers, so if you could like and subscribe to this video, that would be fantastic. Also, if you have any ideas for maybe a future video, please mention it in the comments and we'll do our best to add that to one of our future videos. So we really appreciate that you're watching. We'll get back to the video now. As I said, we do have all the layout here. These corner pieces will be used for another project. The middle is the meat and potatoes of the box. We're going to grind them out using our Makita grinder. Oh, I did forget to mention we did use Silver Streak to draw out all the lines. It works really well. It's a nice product. So we're going to grind this all out, get it all set up for you, and then we'll come back. Alright YouTube, now you can see that we've cut our piece, we've scored our lines to make the bends later on. We used a punch and we're going to drill out the holes, and then also another punch here for our holes that we're going to drill and dimple die afterwards. So I'm going to start with the first hole. You might want to plug your ears, and here we go. A pilot hole, and then we'll go from there. We'll see how this works out. many more to go. Perfect. All right, it's a nice sharp bit, so here we go. As you can see, we have all of our exhaust holes here to draw the air in. They're all drilled out. Now we're going to use the hole saw and drill out our exhaust holes for the smoke to come out, the whole point of the smoker. And we begin.
the 2-inch holes drilled. Now we're going to go and put on the dimple die. Might be a little hard for this material. Alright, one done. Okay, we're going to bend the other side now. Made some tweaks. Line it up. Okay, so it's dimpling them. I have a 20-ton press. I think you could use an extra 10 tons, maybe 30-ton press would do a nicer job, but he's doing us a nice big dimple there. I'll zoom in and show you guys after. Okay, so we made our score marks a little deeper, and we've had some luck with 2 corners. We're going to hopefully get the last corner here for you. That one was cut appropriately. That's how easy it's supposed to be. So this one here we're going to score one more time, and then we're going to hold it up. Oh, there we go. It looks like it worked. I'm just going to massage it a bit. So pressure. Okay, so you can see with the score marks, we didn't cut it and weld it back together. We do still have to weld all the seams, but when you score it, you get the bend goes on your seam, so you control how straight it is, and then you don't have to fit it up perfectly again if you cut it apart to refit it. So I think all in all, we'll pinch these in for the smoker build, and then we'll tack it up and bring you guys back. Try and get some welding action. See if you guys can see that nice little dimple dies we got here. It's not so much for strength, as this is 1/8 material, but it adds just a little bit of flair to a ridiculous smoker. Okay, so we got it all bent up. We got some clamps on it to line up the corners. We did an initial tack. We have a bottle jack inside to push the outside up and a clamp on the outside to pull the outside in. Now we're going to throw a couple tacks on there to hold everything together. Alright, little gas metal arc welding. Okay, so the smoker is all bent up and we just finished welding it. It's looking pretty good. We'll bring you back when we make the lid and put on the hinges.